Hey, hi, welcome. I'm Kathleen Audette, and you are at the right webinar. This is called 3 Ways to Create a Signature Style that is authentically you. And I am so happy to have you with me. I want you to go into the chat and say hello, give me your name, and tell me where you're from. It looks like some of you have done that. Yay, thank you. I have a great tech team behind me, so if you have any issues at all with the technology, which is not my strong point, just reach out in the chat and Lisa will take care of you. So while you are saying hello, I want to tell you about me just a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Again, I'm Kathleen Audette. I am an image consultant in Reno, Nevada, and that is at the foothills of the Sierras, just at the base of Lake Tahoe. So about 450 miles north of Las Vegas. It's beautiful here. We have 4 seasons. Not that I don't love Las Vegas. I do. I have some of my most amazing clients there. But I don't have to be worried about shopping in Reno because I have the ability to shop around the world and use a virtual closet in my work. And I have lots of other really cool things that I use to help men and women become really comfortable with who they are in their clothes. So my objective when I'm working with men and women is just to make sure that they are dressing from the inside out. So I help them figure out who they are at a deep level and then dress that person. And that process is very holistic, it's somewhat organic, and I'm really trying to help people figure out what they love, what they don't love, and why. And when we get into your closet, that very private space, and we talk about the why, a lot of stuff comes up. And so that's why I've created something called Create Your Signature Style, because I really, really think and feel that it's imperative that you connect the inside and the outside and realize that you have a lot of things to do in the world and you want to be seen and known and heard. And so you need to dress that person. And when you do that, you don't want to be spending a lot of time and money figuring that out. You want to just have it done for you and be able to do it yourself. And so that's what we're going to talk about. So let me just say a quick hello to people, and then I'm going to go off screen for a little while, show you some slides, and then come back on at the end and answer any questions that you have. And feel free to put those questions in the chat. Lisa will get them back to me at the end, and we will go through them, and I will stay and answer all of them. So let's see. Hello, Meg. Hello, Josh and Nicole from Idaho, very cool. Sheila from San Diego. Lex, hello, Lex. Milena, hi, we're gonna talk about you in a minute. Hi, Jonna from Reno. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Melissa from Montana, so cool. Oh, Melissa's in Kansas City. Rebecca's in Montana. I'm so excited to talk to you. And we will be back live in just a minute with me talking to you. But right now, I want to start the program and just talk to you a little bit, show you a bunch of great pictures. And yeah, I'll come back at the end. All right. Whew, technology, yay. So here we are, 3 ways to create a signature style that's authentically you. And if you have ever been confused by all the clothing options out in the stores, which has happened to me, if you found your closet is a really frustrating place to be, or if you've just found yourself uncomfortable, you know that uncomfortable feeling you get Sometimes if you're out and you're not sure about what you're wearing, or maybe you're going to get up on stage to speak and you're wondering if what you're wearing is going to be resonating with your audience in the right way, I definitely understand where you are, and I have been there. And that's why I know deep in my bones that a signature style can help you um, create a really strong brand. It can help you um, also have a very good nonverbal communication that you're in charge of, and we're going to talk about that, and a super streamlined wardrobe. And what happens when you have a signature style is some of these things. People begin to associate your signature style element with you, and that's a good thing. That means that you've narrowed down your clothes enough to have a look and a signature and to be able to say, this is me. And your personality is going to come out and you are going to stand out from the crowd. So I hope you're ready for that. Um, you want to look like you've put some thought into your wardrobe when you go out into the world, because it just says, I know what I'm talking about, and I have authority, and I have something to say, and that's really important. And then the last thing is that I really want you to buy only those things that you love and think are beautiful, and that alone will change the way you look at your closet. I want to talk to you a little bit about my client, Milena. She is really cool. Probably might, well, if you met her, you would be like, wow, what a badass. Because she has a really cool business called Out and About Marketing. She does social media and marketing, and she lives in Lake Tahoe. And when I arrived at her sort of like overstuffed closet, her main goal, she said, was to create a closet of clothes that she wanted to wear. And when I asked her how much of the clothing she was wearing at that time, she was like, well, I don't know, about a quarter of it, which is normal. And what happened as we created her signature style and sort of pared down is she took the information and the learning and she downsized her closet to just those pieces that she loved and wanted to wear. Now, she already had a great style, so we were able to pull some core pieces out of what she had and then put them together with some basics and her really cool signature jewelry and create this signature style for her. And she went from, wondering what to wear to creating a style that with much less clothing. So you can see the closet on the right, that's her closet. It's not a lot of clothing. And then one day we had coffee and we were talking about what had happened in her life with downsizing her closet. And she said that the essentializing, the downsizing had shifted into her life. And she had done the same thing with her house and her lifestyle. And that it really just reflected in a much more adventurous and fun lifestyle. So now she's in Lake Tahoe and she's also enjoying life in the Baja. She lives there part-time, can work there, she can work here. But I really know that what I'm trying to say is that the idea of creating a signature style can carry over into the rest of your life, and it can carry over into your house and into your the way that you think about living, so that you actually have more time and more money to do the things you want to do. And if you look at that picture in the left-hand corner, you'll see that beautiful beach behind her and that crazy thing she's holding called I think it's called a kite. It's called kite surfing. It looks absolutely terrifying to me, but also exciting, but more terrifying and exciting. And she just has such a cool way about her. And I think that um, that's something that we want to be thinking about when it comes to our clothing, is just having less, but being able to create more. So let's talk about these four ways again. Let's just dig into the 4 ways a signature style creates a more authentic image for you. We're going to be talking about these 4 things because I think that they are the crux of having a signature style. And one of the things we want to do is um, create or expand or augment a strong personal brand. We want to make sure that you are communicating wherever you are in your clearest nonverbal voice. So the nonverbal voice is, what are your clothes saying without you even opening your mouth? I also want to give you an easy way to streamline your wardrobe today. I'm going to do that a little bit later, and that's just a couple of quick tips, but I think you'll find them really useful. I also want to show you how you can save some time and money when you're thinking about creating a signature style. So what I want to do is transition a little bit better into this next slide, which is, let's start with the definition of a signature style. And that is that, for me, it's a way of dressing that combines who you are at a deep level, like I said, with your awareness of the nonverbal messages that your clothes are giving. So just like when you write your signature on a piece of paper, that says you, and your signature style says you when people read it, and they are reading it. The interesting thing about clothing is that you can't really hide who you are. You might sometimes, what I find with women is that they'll buy clothes that are a little bit big or wear clothes that are a little bit big for them, because they're kind of trying to hide. But actually, you're very, very visible in your hiding. And once your signature is written, once you've gotten dressed in the morning, it's readable, and you want to be able to have control over that. You want to have people read what you want them to read, see what you want them to see, and you want to also be seeing in that mirror exactly who you are, from a very positive place. Once you get a handle on what you love and what you don't love, then you can define what works, what doesn't, and why. And that's the business of finding a signature style. Sometimes we either lose our sense of style, or sometimes we've never really tapped into it. I have a lot of clients that come to me, and um, they have a certain style to their clothing, or they've just picked up a lot of clothes over the years, and they wear what's comfortable, but they haven't figured out what is exactly right for them. So how do you even start to do this? Okay. What I want to do is take a look at an example of someone who didn't really know their signature style, but decided to investigate it a bit. And this is Alice. I want you to meet Alice. When I went into Alice's closet and we started working together, she had a lot of great pieces, and she is a strong extrovert, for those of you that know her, and she's very outgoing, very animated, has a business, AliceHyman.com, and is in sales, so she sees a lot of people. She didn't exactly have a lot of pizzazz in her closet, though. There wasn't a lot of clothing that said, this is Alice. So one of the things we did was we found some very strong pieces. Like, instead of having the scarf on the left, which is soft and pliable and beautiful, we went for stronger pieces like the necklace on the right. little things like that, just figuring out who you are and then translating it into the design elements in the clothing is what gives you that signature style. So I think that one of the best ways that you can, create or augment or expand your brand is to figure out how mm, how your message is going to resonate first with you and then with others. And I really think that one of the best ways that we can do that is with color. And I don't say that lightly because color is a big subject. There are whole schools you can go to just to learn about color. It's one of the 5 design elements that make up all of our clothing, including our hair and our makeup. And the best thing about it is that when you choose a color that looks amazing on you and matches your message, people do not overtly notice it. They're going to notice other things like that are harder to quantify, like I can relate to you, or that idea has changed my perspective, or he's telling my story, or smaller things like um, I just like what you're wearing and you're demanding my attention. So before all the other design elements, you want to think about color when it comes to just magnifying your brand. So let's look at Alice again. She had some color in her closet, but not very much. And this was the one place we went. And that picture on the right is the one that she uses in all of her online branding. And the color looks great on her. You see her. It draws the attention up onto her face. And the same with the green dress and the scarf and everything. Those are just great, vibrant colors for her. So I want you to think about looking at colors that you love and that look good on you when it comes to you and being seen, having pictures taken, having your pictures online, and even designing colors for your brand. Let me just show you Jill for a sec. One of the things about Jill is that she is the vice president of a very large family-owned company, and she is out in the arena of being seen with clients. And so she needed to step it up a little bit out of her jeans and just plain tops. And so this isn't even the brightest color that she owns, but we had to do a little bit of little stepping stones along the way to kind of get her to something brighter. And she is a sassy girl, and she is smart, and she's taking over a multi-million-dollar corporation, and she is ready. So I just want to show you that color makes a big difference, because you can see how all of the attention goes up onto her face with those nice bright corals and blues. And I really want to encourage you to step into color and maybe step a little bit out of the black realm. Not that I don't love black, and not that I don't think it's useful for a lot of things, but we kind of have an overabundance of it in our society. And so you'll see that the woman in the yellow blazer is the one that stands out. And even the red tie and the red belt, those stand out. And that's the thing about having something signature for you is allowing it to stand out and being okay with that. And color is one of the best places to go for that. Sometimes when I speak, I talk about death by black, because there's so many places where we think black looks great. And I think that, yes, it has sophistication, but it's overused. So you want to be thinking about what other colors could I wear that would draw attention to me, that I'll be okay with. You might have to experiment a little, other than black, particularly up by your face. Okay. I want to show you this website really quickly, because sometimes when you're creating a brand or you're trying to find colors that you love and that you look good in, or that you want to use for your website, you can just pop a color in here that you love, like that purpley red violet there. And this app will give you the complementary colors, the analogous colors, the triadic, the monochromatic. It'll give you some ideas of how to create colors for your brand. Let's see what I have next. Oh yeah, here we go. This is really cool. I want you to get your handout out. If you don't have it, then Lisa will put a link to it in the chat. But we're going to be talking about how to communicate in your clearest nonverbal voice, which, by the way, is speaking long before you even open your mouth. And I love this quote from Alison Lurie because she says, "We announce ourselves," which is exactly what we do without ever saying a word. We project, we reflect important information about ourselves. So our dress has a language, and it's very, very persuasive. And so I want to talk about that just a little bit so that you can get a handle on it and have control over it and feel like you have some power with the nonverbal cues of your clothing. So let's talk about what these messages are. I just want to start with the design elements at the top. We won't spend a lot of time on this, but you can see that there's line, there's shape, there's color, there's fabric, there's pattern. I've already talked about color being the most demanding of all of these things that go into a piece of clothing or your makeup or even your hair. Your hair, I would call a fabric. It has color, it has shape, it has line, and sometimes it even has pattern. So one of the things to think about here is that you're going to take these design elements and bring them down into 4 levels of dress. And I've given you some examples on the right of what they look like. These are just examples. And what you really want to key in on are what are the messages that these levels are giving. So let's just look at level 4. Generally, the messages that you give up here at level 4 are pretty authoritative because you're wearing straight lines, and straight lines say, pay attention. So do angular shapes and dark light colors like suits and anything where the fabrics are very firm and there's a lining. You want to be thinking about how these kinds of clothes are generally used for banking and law and finance. The messages that your clothes are giving, the nonverbal cues, are that you're very persuasive, very credible, very precise, and also very stable. We also have that term called, he's a suit or she's a suit, and it's kind of negative. But suits are one of those places you can go to when you need authority and you need to be heard. And at least you know, if you know the nonverbal message, you know where you can take this outfit and have it work for you. So let's look at levels 2 and 3. Here's the messages that your clothes are sending when the design elements are integrated with level 1. If level 4 design elements are integrated with level 1 design elements, which I'll show you in a minute, we actually get into levels 2 and 3. And this is where you want to be if you're out in the world, if you are working, if you're being seen, if you're teaching, if you are even sometimes just sitting behind a computer at your house and working. I do recommend to my clients that work from home to dress up a little bit. And I think you'll find that sometimes your work will be more productive. So look at the nonverbal cues, the messages that your clothes give in levels 2 and 3. And this is basically just where you're not wearing jeans and t-shirts and flip-flops. So if you look at the messages, they're really great. You look accessible, you look approachable and cooperative and dependable and consistent. And that's what you want most days. Now, if you're going to go out kite surfing, you're going to want to be down here at level 1, and it's okay because you're in a different sphere than having to be seen and having to be heard and known. And if you look at the design elements, they're exactly the opposite of level 4. So curved lines, rounded shapes, things that are fun, fabric that's movable, fabric that's very soft. And you just want to be careful about being down here and having these nonverbal messages be out there in the world if you're trying to get your message across. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this, giving you an easy way to streamline your wardrobe. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll be glad to answer. I think I just gave you a lot of information. So when I say streamline, I want you to know that I mean to make your closet and your wardrobe so efficient that you save lots of time in the morning when you get dressed. You are not stressed. You are grabbing 1, 2, 3 pieces, putting them on, and getting on with your day. I call it like a healthy self-forgetting. You're getting dressed and then you're forgetting about what you're wearing so that you can get on with your day and go change the world, which is what we need you for. Okay? So here's just a really simple technique you can do, and that is to go into your closet and get rid of all your hangers. Well, maybe not all of them, but just know that if you have any that are from the dry cleaners, those can be recycled. And one of the ways to just streamline your wardrobe is to have your clothes hanging up. So I'm going to ask you to forget about the KonMari method or putting things in drawers for a while and hang all of your clothing up. And I really like these hangers because the tops swivel. There are notches on the sides and they actually hold the clothes better. I like the felt one for sweaters and I like the clear one for everything else. And I want you to think about hanging your clothes up in your closet where you can see all of them. That's the first step. Hang like with like, the pants with the pants, the shirts together, put all the jackets together. Hang up your exercise clothes, put all your shoes together. And then here's a little technique. Hang your tops from sleeveless or tank tops up to full sleeve. You can do it from left to right or right to left. But when you do this, you make your clothing very visible and you make it easy to see where your shirts are and what you have. And then I want you to do something else in your closet. And that is, I want you to get rid of those things that are not your clothing and not your accessories. So boxes of files, extra bedding, your children's pictures, taxes, anything that's not your clothing or your accessories or your shoes or your jewelry needs to come out of the closet. And once you do that, and once you can see what's hanging in there, it is so much easier to figure out what to remove. So don't remove any of the clothing or anything, just see what you have. And this is sort of an expedition. It's a discovery of who you are. Do you have, 10 white shirts of the same make or they all look similar? That's telling you something about your clothing and about you and that you might want to take note of. And you also want to be able to see, maybe there's something missing. Maybe you have 10 black pants and nothing else for pants. Maybe you have a lot of clothes and no accessories. And really, it should be the other way around. I think you should have more accessories than you do clothes because you can take simple, basic clothes and dress them up with accessories, and that says, this is me. So what I want you to think about doing now is just having a little bit of an experimentation with figuring out what fits and what doesn't fit. Now, this is sometimes harder because we have to think about our bodies, and I want you to remember that it's not your body. That's not the reason why the clothes don't fit. It's the clothes. The clothes themselves need to be altered, not you. So when you're trying things on, just ask yourself a couple questions. Is this too tight or is it too loose? And if you can't decide, just keep it. But those are the two questions you can ask yourself if you're looking in the mirror. And if you wait for a minute, even just 15 seconds, you'll get an answer. Okay. So what if you're facing a piece of clothing that you're really unsure of? You like it, but you're not sure. Okay. I want you to be a bit brave. I want you to wear it the next day. I want you to wear that piece. I want you to be experimental. Pretend you're a teenager again and be an investigator of your own personal style. Maybe you've bought something you really love and it really is a part of your signature style, but you don't know that because you haven't worn it. You haven't taken it out into the light for people to see and for you to see. So sometimes if you do this, what's going to happen is you're going to get a surprise, like in the form of compliments, or maybe you're going to go by a mirror and you're going to see yourself and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I love this. I forgot all about this. I forgot I had this. And then you're going to wear it more. Or maybe the opposite will happen. Maybe you will find yourself fussing with it all day. Maybe it will itch. In that case, you need to get rid of it. Or maybe you just don't like it. You just figure out, no, I don't like this. And then it's an easy, let me get rid of it. But don't shy away from experimentation and discovery. It's kind of the secret to life, I think, is just being a little adventurous and saying, let me try this. Let me see what's actually going to happen when I do that. And then let me know, send me an email and let me know what happens. Okay, now we're getting into the subject of time and money. And a lot of times when I talk to people about what I do, they say, well, I don't have the time to think about that right now. I'm too busy. And I think, well, okay, that's fine. At some point you will be thinking about it. And a lot of times I hear, I don't have the money for new clothes. And my idea around a signature style is that it actually takes less money to figure out your signature style than it did to get you to the place where you don't have one. And the reason is when you're dressing in a signature style, you're dressing for who you are. You're actually buying less clothes than you are if you don't do that. Okay. So what I want you to do is sort of just look at this slide for a second. I know it has a lot of numbers on it, but I looked at women 55 and up and around 25, and you can see per year that they spend about the same amount of money on their clothes. One spends about $4,000, one spends about $3,600. This is an average. And so per month, they're spending about $300. And what happens is that statistically, and if you want where I got this information, just email me and I'll tell you, the average person only wears about 20%, but I was generous and gave them 30%. Okay. And you'll see that if you're spending about $150 to $400 a month on your clothing, if we average it out over a year, that you are only wearing, 30% of your clothing. And then at the end of the month, you've lost $105. And at the end of a year, you've lost about $1,260, which we could do a lot with. So I want you to just see these statistics, because it's important to know that if you're staring at your closet and you have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear, you're looking at a lot of lost money. And I really want you to be thinking about, what could I pull out of that closet to create a signature style? Because I promise you, there's a lot of pieces in there that are representation of who you are. And we just have to go after that. We just have to get those pieces out of there, figure out what they are, figure out why the other ones aren't right for you, and then create, day by day, month by month, a signature style that in, a few months you're saying, wow, I feel great, I feel confident, and I'm really happy with all the money that I'm saving. Okay. So, what I want for you is to ask the right questions. I want you to be thinking about, um, am I dressing the real me? Do these clothes fit me well? I want you to feel your way into your closet today. I want you to go in there and feel what those clothes feel like on your body and make some assessments. I want you to clear out of season beliefs and thoughts and habits and patterns that have kept you from feeling confident in your clothes, so that you can, take on the world, so you can go out and do what you need to do. This is a lot about creating something behind the scenes so that you can go out and be seen. And that's what I love to do for women and for men. That's really my work, is to work with you behind the scenes, get you happy and confident and comfortable so that you can go out and make your mark on the world. And until you close that gap between the essence of who you are and what your clothes say about you, you are always going to hold back in your job, in your business, in your life. You might, want a signature style, and you need to start with your closet, and you don't want to do it alone. And that's why I'm here. Okay. So nothing that we've talked about is theory here. And I want to go back to Alice really quickly, because this process of where we got from the left to the right, this took a while. And it was a process of asking a lot of questions and getting Alice to really just feel her way into a signature style. She was wearing clothes that really bothered her skin, but she just did it because she had to. She thought she had to. And I was like, no, you can wear clothes that are comfortable and stylish. What about that, huh? And so what I want you to see is that we just honed in on who she was, and we brought out her authentic voice. We brought it out into the world. I want you to look at my friend Stephanie. She's a client. She's a comedian. Not really. She's a copywriter, and she owns a company called Frankly Good Coffee, and she is amazing. And we started working together. We needed to make some big shifts because she's a speaker and she wants to be seen, and she's dynamic. And so we had to go from here on the left to the closet on the right that she has now. And that process was all about figuring out who she was at a deep level and then dressing that person. And if you know Steph, or if you've seen Steph, she looks great. She looks amazing. She lives in Vegas, so she can wear a lot of really, fun clothes that are, you go out into the sunshine with. She doesn't have a lot of winter stuff. So if you want to see more of her, she's on my website, as well as a bunch of other clients that I have, and you can see some of the transformations there. But what I want to do is I want you to take a look at a way that we can work together if you would like to create this signature style for yourself, because there isn't anything that I've shared with you today that's theory. like none of it. I've used this system myself. I do it in the mornings. I ask myself the same questions, particularly when I go shopping. I put a lot more back on hangers than I bring home. Um, but I've taught this for years and I know it works. Um, so maybe you showed up today and maybe you're tired of settling for a closet that's not you. You need to be seen. You want to be seen in the world. I know what that feels like. And I'm with you. I'm with you every step of the way on this. And I'm not extra special. You can probably tell by listening to the webinar that, I'm just not. I'm just me, and I've been doing this work for a long time. I love being with women and men and helping them in their closets and helping them just get this figured out so that they can get the results every single time and send me emails and say, I feel great, I look great, thank you. I'm doing this in the world, I'm going out here. That's what I love. That's my life's work. So the obvious question is, how can you put this system into place quickly so that you can get your own signature closet, right? If you can try and figure it all out. I think most people do. And there's a lot of information out on the internet, and we talk to people all the time about it. But I really think that you have to dig into who you are to figure it out. And I want you to be able to do it fast. I want you to have training. I want you to have support. I want you to do it the strategic way. So this is my course. It's called Create Your Signature Style. I want you to join me. There's actually 7 modules. We're going to have 7 modules this time instead of 6. And I'm going to deliver it in an online format so that you can go back and do it as many times as you want, and you have access to it for the rest of your life, for as long as the platform's up, which will be a long, long time. We're going to start on Module 1 the week of May 30th, and you're going to be able to do it at your own pace. That's the great part. So it's an online course. It's called Create Your Signature Style, and you're going to get lots and lots of great stuff in addition to the course. You're going to get templates and checklists and downloads, and we're going to have a couple Q&As in there, two 1-hour question and answer live during the time of the course. So let me just go through the modules really quickly with you. This is module 1. We're going to be talking about your values. And this is really, really important because this influences how you buy and why you buy things. And when you can stop yourself from buying something that's not right for you, that's a big deal. And when you can figure out what you love, that's a big deal too. So we're going to create a lot of awareness around your personal values and how they influence you. And then we're going to begin to implement those into your clothing choices so that your wardrobe reflects exactly who you are. Module 2, we're going to talk about lines. We're going to talk more about that style scale, how to put that together for you, what it means for you. We're going to look at the 5 line types, and we're going to start looking at how those cues and clues of your nonverbal message read to you and then to other people. So what messages are you currently sending out to the world, and how do you want to shift those? Okay. In Module 3, we're going to do something really special. I have an online app that allows you to pare down from about 300 words to just 4 or 5 that resonate with you at a deep level. And we're going to translate those words into the design elements in the clothing. And you're going to watch and witness how those pieces of clothing start to say, "This is me." It is a really, really powerful module, and I can't wait for you to get on that one because we're going to discover which pieces in your closet are working for you and which ones are not. Here's Module 4. We are not going to do any sort of formulaic version of color analysis. We are going to narrow down to the top 3 to 5 colors that look amazing on you or that you want to use for your branding or your website. We're going to talk about how we're going to do that. And then you're going to be able to automatically take some things out of your closet. Okay. and you're going to start to experience that signature style emerge. In Module 5, we're going to talk about organizing that space, a little bit like we did with the hangers where you're just putting like with like. But I'm also going to give you a whole lot of downloads, some arranging tips. We're going to talk about what to do with your jewelry, with your accessories, with your shoes, and just lots of great downloads in that module. Module 6, we're going to talk about essentializing. What does it actually look like to pare down? And what are all the techniques and methods behind that, and why? Why would you want to do that? And then Module 7, we are going to create outfits. We are going to hone in on your style and what does that look like for you. We are going to be able to put things together to make outfits that you never recognized were in your closet. And we're just going to spend a deliciously glorious week talking about your personal style. So here's some other things that are inside the course. You're going to have a private Facebook group with me and all of the other signature stylers. And again, like I said, you're going to have access to 2 live Q&As with me. So during that time, you're going to bring your questions and I'm going to answer them. And we will just have a great time being together. So here's the investment. This is 7 weeks. It's actually going to go over 8 weeks. There's a week break in between so that I can get some color information ready for you and sent out to you. But the investment is $697, and this is probably the last time I'm going to offer it at this low of a price. But it's a great price to work with me over 8 weeks and have everything that you have. Actually 7 modules we're going to have now. We're going to do your words, we're going to do color, we're going to do style, centralizing, all of it. And we're going to meet inside the private, it's actually secret Facebook group. Okay, so here is what I'm doing. The early bird special goes until the 21st of May at midnight. And I'm going to give anyone who signs up for the class this bonus, which is 3 outfits styled just for you in a virtual closet. So I'll be taking a look at what you already own, and I'll be styling 3 specific outfits for you. So be thinking about where you have to be seen or where you're going, even as to the grocery store or to pick your kids up or whatever, where you need an outfit. And I'm going to be styling 3 of those for you as a bonus for signing up early. That's by the 21st at midnight, but there's more. This is one of the best bonuses that I have. This is an interview. It's a live video interview with Alexia Vernon and myself on why and how to be seen in the world. And you want to look her up. It's alexiavernon.com. She is amazing. She is a speaking coach. I would call her a visibility coach. And she's one of my coaches, and I love her. And you will be able to hear some things from her that I didn't know before the interview. And I know her, and she's a friend. And I think that you will love this interview. And there's so many nuggets in here of wisdom that you want to take with you in your journey to being seen in the world. So that's bonus number 2. And then if you're on the webinar, only if you're on the webinar today and you sign up today for the course, I'm going to give you 45 minutes with me, broken up into 15-minute calls. So 15 minutes before we start the course, 15 minutes during, and 15 minutes after the course. And I found this to be really helpful to people because we're going to talk live, and we'll do it via Skype or Zoom or FaceTime or whatever application works best for us. But these are one-on-one sessions with me, and this is available to anyone who signs up, all the webinar participants that are on this until the 19th. At midnight on the 19th, this will go away. So here are your options to pay. You can do 1 payment, you can do 3 payments, or you can do 5 payments. And I broke them up so that they are easy, and you can go to this website I know that Lisa will have it in the background of the chat, and you can click on it and you'll get all the information that I've been talking about and more about it. And then I always offer a guarantee, and here it is. And you can always email me at any point and let me know how you're doing. But this comes with the course. So here's one of my favorite authors. There's nothing more daring than showing up, putting yourself out there, and letting yourself be seen. And that is exactly how I feel when I have to be seen, which I'm going to be in a minute. I'm going to come right back on the screen and talk to you and answer your questions. And I'm excited to see you. So barring any technology glitches, I'll be right there. Hey, at least I don't have the spinny ball of death. Yay, I'm back. Whoa. Hey, hi. Yeah, it's hard to read the words on the design element chart. Yeah, you know what? I will give you the download. If you email me, just email Kathleen at yourauthenticimage.com. I will give you the chart filled in, Kathleen at yourauthenticimage.com, and I will send you the download with all of the words filled in. So Rebecca asked, what if what resonates with me isn't the message I need to communicate in, which is business? I still wouldn't feel good or my comfortable, soft self. Rebecca, let me think about that for a minute, or can you write some more on that? I want you to feel comfortable in whatever you're wearing. If you have a more soft personality, oh, somebody's writing to me, thank you. What if what resonates with me isn't the message I need to communicate in? Oh, like you're in business and you feel like you have to be tough, but your soul is soft? Okay, yeah, welcome to my world. I understand that so much. That is great. Keep laughing. Yeah, that's a great question. So what I think is that when you have to show up and be tough, say in business, and you have to mean business, you can let the nonverbal cues of your clothing do a lot of the work for you, okay? So that you can still be who you are and have a soft voice or a soft presence. I certainly have that. But I let the colors and the lines and shapes and textures of my clothing, when I have to go into, say, a banking meeting or a meeting with, 50 men or something, and I'm the only woman, I let my clothes do a lot of the work that just say, I'm in charge. I know what I'm saying, even if I don't have my strongest voice on. Is that helpful? Because I am really all about integrating the nonverbal cues with what you're saying and letting that work for you. And so once you know what those are, and I will tell you, if you email me, I will tell you, I'll give you some examples of what to do on that. So thank you, Lex. I see your thing. Thank you so much. I will be glad to answer any more questions if you have them. And if not, I'm going to let you go. And yeah, I'm going to see if Lisa has anything else for me. All good? We're all good. Okay, awesome. Thank you for being with me today on the webinar. Thank you for listening to me. I am so grateful for you. Thank you all around. And I will just direct you to the website with the sales page so you can see what's going on with the course. And I'll answer any questions you have digitally. Thank you.